Hi, good morning and welcome to my channel. My name's Natalie and this is So Stitch So Nat. It's Friday the 28th of February 2025 and I'm here for my February wrap up. Yeah, lots to share today. Whip Go, the monthly projects I've been working on, my focus piece, a new birthday start, 2 FFOs, no FOs though, which is a finished object, whereas you'll see I've done the other 2 finished objects. Clue to one of the projects is lots of Gilmore Girls, and I've only had one day this month where I haven't stitched. Last month I managed to stitch every day. Unfortunately this month it didn't quite happen. I do have notes. Yeah, my channel is predominantly about cross stitch. Occasionally you will get the odd other piece thrown in, and I haven't grabbed my haul, so I'll do that later. There are some like canvas haul in there as well, ready to start a project which I haven't started yet. I think with February being a short month I've just been trying to get the goals done and then got a little bit distracted with one of my older whips from last year. Right, let's get started, shall we? So one of the FFOs is over there as well. Just a sec. Right, got the haul as well. So this is my first FFO, which is from the Jingle Ball 2024. It's the blue flower, and it was Festive Forest, and it was done on sage green 32 count Murano with the DMC, all DMCs. It's okay as a finish. It's my first finish this style, and I put some mini, I don't think you can hear that, mini jingle bells. Oh, words are escaping me since I pressed record. Yeah, I thought the base was going to be alright fit, but I think it could have been a touch bigger. So when I was stitching the bottom on, it wasn't quite sitting right. But I love the colour. I think it matches really well with the threads. There was a lot more stitching in that than I thought there was going to be. And I think there's odd places where I've not quite got the polyester fibre fill quite stuffed in there as much as I thought I had. So maybe a note for next time is to let it settle before I seal it up completely. I did poke around in there with a chopstick. So yeah, I absolutely love this. What was it? Owl. The deer took a lot of stitching, but I love the fox as well, and the birds. So yeah, really happy with that. Husband was like, "What are you going to do with that?" I'm like, "It's a Christmas decoration." Yeah, Christmas decorations are down, but they're not back in the loft yet, so that's a job to do. I'll put that over there. My second FFO, so I've stuck my Chronicles of Narnia SAL, can't remember when it was from, but it was a limited edition from Sapphire Mountain Stitching Book Club, and I did it on a 32 count Belfast Snow linen, with some substitutions on the DMC, because at the time it was hard to get. I think it might have been either 2020 or 2021, and I just stuck it on a dotted A4 notebook, and this is going to be a book for me to log all the stitches that I completed before I started logging them in date order, so the plan is to have another one of these with from, I think I worked out I started logging it at 2022, and then they'll be in order of when they were finished, but this is the one for stitches before that period really. So I have got quite a few of those as well, some of which I have, some of which I don't have, and some of which I can remember stitching. And I think I'm probably going to section this off into like small, maybe small / medium and then large, because there's definitely a large piece at my dad's, which is the Millennium, I can't remember the name of the company, but I do have a picture of it from way back when, of the kit. And then I think I might have a picture from my dad's, I'm not sure either. I can always take a photo next time I'm up there, and I want to stick the photos in here. Potentially I might stick some of the small finishes that I haven't made it into FFOs as well, but we shall see. So that's my plan for that. And I'll make notes as to, like, maybe when with that one it's a bit harder because some of the details are a bit vague, but whatever details I know I can put in, I will do. Then we are on to whips, so works in progress. So these are my monthly goals to be completed at various stages through the year. So this is Darth Vader from Cross Stitch Kingdom. This is a gift for my younger son, who's Star Wars mad, along with his dad. So if all else fails, Dad will have it anyway. It did come as a kit with 16 count Ada, maybe 14. And I've scanned this into good notes so that I can work on it. I chose to do mine on a 25 count black Murano, and if you don't like hanging threads, I'm really sorry, it's going to be one of those episodes. There are an absolute ton of them. But on this project I do actually have a page finish. On the areas that are stitched, it's all full crosses, and the kit comes with, I think it's DMC, so this is where I'm at. So he's still got his lightsaber to go in and the rest of his cloak swooshing at the bottom, but I'm really happy with the progress. I think some of the bits will go faster because there's not so much confetti down here. So certainly sort of like this section definitely did, whereas up in there it was lots of confetti. So I need to carry on gridding. I don't know if you can see that how I've gridded it, and I can't remember the name of the product. So it's kind of like a you have to excuse it. It's kind of like a fishing line. What is Easy Count Guideline by RS Designs. It looks like that. I think I got it from Amazon, but not recently. It's a US product. But it's probably a bit too thick for definitely anything sort of 32 upwards, because it is quite thick on there, but on here it's fine, which is a 25 count. So I need to go this way and I need to go down and I need to go across, and yes, it is a massive piece of fabric. The idea was to turn it into a cushion, but I think it's going to be quite a large cushion. The other son had a great big Pokémon piece which I abandoned in the end, But obviously he's got other Pokemon pieces that I'm doing each year at the minute, and I'm on the third of those. You'll see that in a minute. Next is, if I forget any details, just message me below, or email or Instagram. I haven't been posting on Instagram, but I'm looking at it. This is my Luca-S, the Aquarium. I was quite coy Carp. And it's a full coverage kit from Luca-S on 16 count, and it's their kind of version of Easy Grid, so it's like every 10 squares is got the grid lines on. But they're very, very pale, which is why you'll see I've got the orange going all the way around. Oh, I meant to say, so roughly Darth Vader was at 12.3%, it's now at 21.2%. This was roughly at 14.57%, it's now at 28.4% with 7,400 stitches of the completed squares. So where I've come down here, I haven't counted those. But it's definitely really starting to take shape. It does need some back stitching on it as well. The goal is to finish this by the end of July, ready to gift in September, so yeah, I do need to get those the back stitch on as well, and that's a gift from my dad. Lots of gift stitching this year, but I'm doing some of my own stuff as well though. So this is Embroidery for Kids Art. This is no longer available. It's a set of 4 Sing the Pokemon songs. This is the 3rd in the series. And this is Squirtle. I'm doing mine on a 16 count black Ada with the Call 4 DMC. There's only 3 colours. And it really does pop 2 over 1, so it gives quite a dense coverage. This one is on Pattern Keeper. It was on 10.43, it's now on 20.86 with 1,400 stitches in it. And this is a December one for my older son, who's a Pokemon fan. Not that he doesn't like Star Wars, but Pokemon's more his thing. There's a new game coming out in November, he said. He's already asking for that for Christmas. So, yeah. My next monthly stitch is, I call it the Dog Project. It's not really got a name. I did Google it and couldn't find it. So that's what that looks like. I managed to get that into GoodNotes to mark it off, but it's been a bit of a battle to get going on it. I think now I am going on it as well, and I did more than I planned to do on this. So it was at 15.79, it's now at 41.2. Yeah, that's on a 14 count Ada with the kit thread. Oops. So yeah, coming along on that. There's quite a lot of blocks where it's not fully stitched, but as I come down here it'll be a bit more fully stitched. But like I said, I did do a bit more than planned on this. This is due for end of November finish. But part of me wonders whether to sort of press ahead with it a bit more and then it's one less monthly to do. But I don't know. Depends if the mood strikes me. But like I said, I did quite a few more completed the boxes a few more times than I planned. So on ones where it's like a paper pattern, I'm doing the percentage based on completed blocks. So that block could have 1 stitch or 100 stitches. Just to give me a rough idea of how I'm going. and just to make that progress. So I say I want to do, I don't know, 10 boxes per month. I know it's, in theory, if it was full coverage it'd be 1,000 stitches, but yeah, without having it in Pattern Keeper or Markup RXP, or having to sort of put it into another cross stitch design thing and then working from that. I don't know the exact numbers, but like I say, it gives me a rough guide. The last monthly projects I've got is just slightly out of order. Is Lyndisfarne, and it's a Terry Pratchett based design. It's just Binky and Death. I got this as a chart rather than a kit. I'm doing mine on a 32 count even weave by Fabric Flare in the colourway Cloud Summer Sky. In the Core 4 DMC. I think I've used all the red now, yeah. So I had a whole skein, yeah, I only did a tiny bit. Sorry for the crunchiness. So yeah, all that section's done. So to come up, horse's head, tail and the cape coming out the back. I think this is another one I might have done a few more on as well. So that was at 21.83, it's now at 39.4. I do really like that stitch as well, and I've managed to get that into Good Notes as well. I think out of the monthly projects I'm doing, there's only one in Pattern Keeper, the rest are in Good Notes. Then, so one of my Whip Go calls, so I'm slightly doing this out of order, was a Twisted Band Sampler by Northern Needlework Expressions. This is the one with the speciality stitches, and I'm doing it in the Core 4 DMC. My goal was 5 hours. You're not going to be able to see all of it. So before, I had to finish off the dark orange section at the top in terms of the cross stitches, but now I've finished that off and I've put the next lighter band of cross stitches in. So next time I pick it up, I've got to do the speciality stitch in that orange, and then switch to it's almost like a goldy colour, I think. So yeah, really happy with that. This is on a 36 count Edinburgh linen. The cross stitches are done 2/2, and the speciality are done with 1 strand. Yeah. My other Whip Go was work on a modern folk embroidery, and I chose Ruskins Penguins. Which I am doing a mint splash Murano, and I've had a bit of fun with this one. So this one is on Pattern Keeper, and did I write it down? Yes, it was at 14%, it's now at 24.6%, and as you can see I've miscounted by 10 stitches up the top, but luckily I've got enough border so it's going to be fine, and I haven't fully stitched all of it. So yeah, I'm going to come down here, make sure that joins up, and then start in the middle. I haven't got any white in there, it's only black at the minute. I'm just using DMC 310, I think. It could be Anchor. But yeah, so that's what that one looks like. My focus piece for the month was Evening in the Park. Oh, there it is, by Chatelaine. Which looks something like that. Which does not do it justice whatsoever. It's the top. I'm trying to remember what I did. I think I stitched in these 4 corners and then started on this section, which is a gorgeous colour. I can't remember what it's called, but I stitched on this. So at work we get a day off for our birthday, which is not part of our annual entitlement. So I just sat and stitched for the whole day. So I think I did well over 5 hours on that that particular day. Although I feel like I must have done more than that, because that's not to show for 5 hours. But yeah, so I think I put those corner bits in and started doing the outer bit, next outer bit, I should say. Next is my swim stitch. So I was working on Netflix's Stitch SAL from years ago. There's not a cover photo because it was a pick your own. I was working down in here for Orange is the New Black. That is now complete. My plan is to start working on Lucifer next time I pick it up, which will go in this cell. And then I've got Breaking Bad, Florist Lava and Man vs. Bee, which those 3 are ones that I'm trying to create, although the Breaking Bad is just like a chopped down version of an Etsy pattern that I found. So yeah, that is on a 16 count Ada, with predominantly DMC apart from the black, which is the Anchor. Now I got slightly carried away this month. Haven't watched as much Flosstube, but I've been watching an awful lot of the Gilmore Girls, and got completely engrossed in that, and then wanted to pick my Gilmore SAL up. So there's quite a bit of progress on this. I've outlined all the borders down here, so I've got to do the second leg on a lot of this and then put the additional border in. I'm part way through the rocket. Sorry, might help if you know what it looks like. That's not the right way up. So that's what it's going to look like. Ooh. Blinking miss it. So yeah, that's what it will look like. I think because quite a bit of it it's easy stitching, because the chart for each month came on like a big pattern as well as like the individual block, so it's quite easy to work in what you're doing each block. So I'm going to continue to do that. although I have been slightly distracted because there's now a mum that I know has moved into our class. I say like the kids has moved into our class, so she quite often sort of chats away to me, so I'm slightly distracted now, so I'm not getting as much progress. But I think my son might be due for assessment this weekend actually, so not fingers crossed, but it'd be nice to have it slightly earlier in a different slot. So and he deserves to move, so we'll see what happens with that. My next piece I worked on was Blackbird by Blackbird Designs. I work on this when I watch Show Me Sarah, What's the Plan? Didn't quite happen that way in January, but February it definitely did. I'm doing this on a 28 count mushroom Nagana with Classic Colourworks Blackbird. I've just continued, so I've had 2 sessions on this, continued all the way at the side, planning to continue and meet the border. It's 2/2. To complete the border at the top there, and then start on the centre section. And it's quite nice, it's quite sort of mindless. There's a slight variegation in the thread, but I think the colours work quite well, so I'm quite happy with that one. Next one I picked up was Cabin in the Woods, which I'm stitching with Stitch SAL. She's miles ahead of me. I'm doing mine on a 32 count grey slate Murano, 2/2 with the DMC. I think there's only DMC listed. So this one's got a bit of a story. It's got worked on more than just me when I was watching Sally's Flosstubes. So as I was coming along here, I think I got to the bottom of there and then decided to put this sort of guide thread in, sort of just a base stitch. I realised when I got over here I was 1 stitch out. So I was like, right, looked at it, couldn't see it. So, right, I'll put another guide stitch in. Right, I'm still 1 stitch out there. Okay. I'll put a stitch in here, which is more to guide me along here, because I hadn't stitched that bit when I realised I was out. And then realised it was up here I put an extra stitch in, so it was 1 out that way and 1 out that way. So all of that had to come out, which was it's about half of what I'd already stitched almost. So I've restitched that and I've come along the bottom. This now does line up. I'm hoping by the time I get over here it'll line up vertically. No, it lines up vertically, it's how it'll line up horizontally, that's all. But yeah, I love that stitch. Need good either natural light or my overhead light to work on that. I do find it a little bit dark. And I'll be working on that definitely today or tomorrow. I know Sally's got a new video out, I haven't watched it yet. Next one I am stitching with Flossy Sews in Rose Sally, which is With Thy Hand, and it's this centre pattern on the book. I'm stitching mine on a 40 count Newcastle linen by Zweigart in Vintage Country Mocha. I'm not going to take it out of the hoop, but so So I've done some more of these pennies. I had to rip one out because I realised I'd done one wrong, so slightly slower progress than I would have liked, and then stitched in the dangling red thread that was bothering me a little bit. Next time I pick it up, I plan to just stitch that green thread in there and then carry working on the pennies. But potentially I might put the sheep back in. The sheep was stitched originally right next to the house, so its face was like in the house rather than one stitch away from the house. So that came out. So I need to put that back in, and I think it's a turkey. And then you've got a tree, and then you've got a cardinal, and then you got to this border. So to the minute I'm at that tree, I've not started putting that border in, but I have got that slight green bit there. I feel like I'm too far away from the camera, so apologies. I think it's when I was showing that Darth Vader piece. I know I needed space to be able to show you. So yeah, that'll... Oh, didn't do this pop on the back, did I? Right, I'll go down there. My next stitch is a SAL. Technically I'm not behind at the minute. I need to get some threads, which I've realised I didn't have the right one. So it's a stitch across the pond SAL, and it's one stitch at a time. I decided to do mine on a Swan Bay Fabrics in the colourway Rosings Parlour, but keep the... So I've got a DMC conversion. So I'm out. Next colour along here is the one I didn't have. And decided not to substitute, so when I put my last order in, I meant to order the threads for this and the Barbara Anna 4 Seasons, but I forgot them. I've not put another order in since, but I know Carolyn Manning is releasing a SAL tomorrow, which is like a stained glass one. I'm quite interested in that, so I might pick up the threads for that, which would break my pattern buying ban as well. Although it doesn't start, the SAL doesn't start until I think 1st of April. Yeah, we'll see. Keen to start it though. I have got my other Carolyn Manning piece as well. Can I buy all the kit without buying the chart and then wait until the end of March? Maybe. Don't know. Watch this space. It'll be the first chart I've bought this year, so I'm not doing too badly. My birthday start was... My birthday start was Quaker Turtle by RTM, which looks like that, and it's deceptively quite big actually, but takes 4 skeins of DMC on a 28 count. I'm doing mine on a 32 count, and I just predominantly focused on stitching the centrepiece, because it was the easiest place to start was from the centre. So that's what that looks like. So that motif is almost finished. I've just got to finish the rest of the board around it, and then I haven't quite decided where I'm going to next on it. It's not the call for. Call for is 3808. I can't remember what number I'm using. $38.10. I'm doing mine on a Silver Moon 32 count Murano. So in theory I should have more than enough thread, but I'm always... yeah, about halfway through a skein just on that one motif, and some of the others look more dense, so yeah, might use some backup thread with that. And that is it in terms of whips and the new start. That does take me to 50 projects, so my goal for the year was to stay under 50 projects. So I want to start something new, I need to finish it, something, and I've got a couple of, I guess the main contender is the Cozy Cabin Mill Hill kit, and potentially the little periwinkle stitch box, which means working with metallic thread as well, which I think that one's slightly further away from a finish. But I think a lot of my projects are, yes, I might have a couple that are in the 40s, but there's a lot that aren't anywhere near that. So that's why I'm sort of like trying to focus on what I've got this year rather than getting more stuff and more new starts. It's just that incremental progress on each project, and my goal is to start do 5 hours on each project at least, and then if I don't want to continue doing it, because there's one project where I know it's technically going to be a restart. Do I FFO it and try again at some other point? Potentially. Which is Introverted, which I'm stitching on the jumper, which you would have seen in my wet parade. It's not technically an FFO, UFO yet. In terms of plans, so I work on my 5 monthly goal projects, which is Koi Carp, Darth Vader, Binky and Death, the Dog Project and Squirtle. So Koi Carp's the aquarium. My focus piece for March is Hello Sunshine by Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and my whip go came up as Caterpillar Cross Stitch as well. But for that one I've decided to pick up the North America SAL, and Pigeon Coop Design, which is my Blooming Swan. That's quite a small piece as well. So yeah, some quite a dark fabric, which I started on holiday last year, and then Swim Stitch will be my Gilmore Girls, and then I want to do some more work on one stitch at a time. I've decided not to do March Madness this year just because of the monthly goal stitching's eating up so much of the time that I would spend stitching. I mean, I also need to think about what in April I'm going to do, because I was thinking about doing all the kits April again, and I'm not sure if Lindsay from Blushing Pink Stitches is doing that, which is her brainchild. Well, she's doing that this year as well. So that's it in terms of plans. In terms of haul, I've got some birthday haul in here. So I did a Coffee Craft fabric purchase. I can't remember, it's from a while ago. I can't remember if I'd done it in January and it hadn't arrived for the last video. So I've got a lovely green, which is 28 count even weave. I know I needed some green, so I was quite happy to go ahead and purchase that. Sorry for all the crinkling. Next I picked up some more mono canvas for the canvas work patterns that I got from Hands On Design at the Jingle. And some needles because free shipping. So yeah, I just got a 28 count, 26 count, and then some beading needles. They're a 10 to 12 pack. I picked up Fool's Gold. Now this is for the potentially I was thinking about using it for the windows in the gingerbread needle book that I've barely touched, but I'm not sure it's not gold enough, I think, for me. So back to the drawing board on that one. Potentially might use a DMC that's on Cabin in the Woods, but I was hoping to get something slightly variegated. And then I've got Water Lilies, which is Caribbean. I just really like the colour of it. Actually, I've just had a thought. Yeah, my advent calendar. There was something in there that I might use. And then a massive piece of this, which is the mono canvas. I can't remember what the spec is of it. It's either 16 or 18 count. But you put pearl cotton through it, so the holes are a lot bigger. And I also picked up this by Fabric Flair, potentially for a chart, but I don't think I'm going to use it for that one now, which is called Stormy Night. So I was thinking about sticking a Nora Corbett on it. I think that's the wrong way up, actually. Don't know. We'll see when I start it. I'm not planning starting that one until November, so it's fine as it is for now. I also placed an order with Stitchtastic, so I could get all the threads for the same project. So that's these ones. So if you buy a piece of fabric, you get 10% off your DMC, which makes it quite a good price. And who doesn't need more fabric? I went for vintage so I got vintage teal marble in a 32 count Murano. Definitely giving me mermaid vibes or seaside vibes. And I also got a taupe glitter 32 count Belfast linen. So I've used taupe quite a bit before. You can't see that. It does glitter. So I've used quite a bit of taupe for Little Dove Designs and Crochet Go-Go patterns before, so that would be a nice addition to the stash. Is there something else in there? No. And then I also purchased from the Wall Warehouse. And I found that this is the best place for the pearl cotton, actually. But I also picked up a 36 count, I think it's platinum, pre-cut as well. I'm trying to beef up my 36 counts a little bit. So I actually had these out. I kitted up 2 projects from there, and I say that they're the best value because they are the longer. I can't remember how many meters it is in this. You can get 15 or I want to say 15 or 20. Yeah, 25 meters, or you can get the 15 meters. So for a little bit more, at the Wall Warehouse, I got, you know, an extra 10 meters, and I definitely needed white. And I think some places have some of them, but not all of them. So this kits up my freebie, plus one of the other winter, I think it's like Winter Blues, I think it was called. And then extra white because I was going to need some. So yeah, definitely recommend Wool Warehouse for the pearl cotton if you're interested in that. I did opt for the bag to store them in as well. And that is it for haul. A lot of that was with my birthday money. I've still got some birthday money left. Potentially I might put a 1, 2, 3 stitch order in. I haven't ordered anything from Nashville. I haven't tried not to look as well. Although Arlene from Works by ABC has definitely got me. I'm like, quite like, yeah, 365 and I can't remember the name of the other one, but it's another one of the new releases. I'm like, no. So yeah, I'm not sure how much longer the pattern ban is going to last, but I don't want to go overboard at all. And the husband has mentioned the stitching area over there with my 50 whips is getting a little bit out of control. Yeah, I tend to agree actually. So yeah, work on what I've got, and like I say, a lot of them aren't small either, so they take up more space. But it's not, I like everything I've got, so yeah. Just keep on working on that. And I think the goal of so many stitches per month and then picking up a design for whip go and things like that, they're all challenges that are motivating me at the minute. I've not completed a full whip go before. Yeah, definitely not, because I think either I've oversold, the last few times I've oversold myself. It's like, actually I can't, I've not got enough time to do that, or something's come along and distracted me and then I've not had enough time to do it. So I think having a designer whip go where I spend 5 hours technically on that designer, but I've generally speaking picked up one project within that rather than 1 hour here and 1 hour there. I've got, in my book I've got a list of all my whips, and whether I've spent, how much time I've spent on it, whether I spent the 5 hours or not. So that's what that looks like. So I came in with 47 whips. One's already finished, which is the Stitch for Pride 2024. Yeah. Well, the only one that's got a percentage is the Christmas Gingerbread Village at 40 or 46% almost. But that is a massive piece, so to get that further is going to be a bit tricky. But yeah. So definitely lots to do on there. And I'm picking a different colour each month on that. So yeah, I need to pick a different. Well, so far I've had pink and red, which are probably a bit too close in terms of month on month, but anyway. I am rambling slightly now. I do have a giveaway win from Cotton and Clay. It's not come yet, so I'm really excited about that. She sent me to reply to my comment last night on a video. I was like, she's like, have you watched my latest video? I'm like, no. It's like, great. I'm ran over there. I was like, oh great, I won. So I've got a Pauline bag coming to me, and Pauline's got a sale on tonight as well, so could be tempted on that one as well, because I've seen the spoilers for the fabric. So yeah, definitely interested in that. And I am completely rambling, and I need to go. So bye for now, and keep stitching.